Hello. Hello and welcome. Excuse me. I'm going to wait for everyone to hop on here. I do want to say hello to everyone who is in this on the replay. Happy Aquarius season, everyone. Today, we're going to be talking about the energies of Aquarius season. I'll be going over the highlights for you as far as the different energies that we're going to be experiencing. And then we're going to pull some cards as we always do, tap a little bit deeper into these energies, see what messages want to come through for us. As you get on, hop into the chat, say hello so I know that you're here. Go ahead and hit that like button. That does get the video out to more people. And yes, I apologize, everyone watching the replay. I mean, we're going to wait a few minutes to see who gets on. So you can always skip right ahead if you like. I know the last time I did a live stream, I said that I was going to timestamp the video, and I did not do that. So I'm not going to say that I'm going to do that, just in case it doesn't happen. That was my intention. It just didn't quite happen. But I love doing these live streams with you guys. I love having the energy of everybody when they get together. I think it's a beautiful connection point. So I do like to do some of these videos live. Hello, Carolina. Welcome. Super sassy Aquarius here. I love it. I love it. Hello, Lindsay. Welcome. Wow. Every time I get on here to do record a video or do a live stream, my throat gets really scratchy. It's really interesting. So I apologize for all the throat clearing. I don't know if there's a big energy. I know this came through in the Gemini 2023 sneak peek video. And I know it came through in one other sign that I did too. The energy of the throat chakra, I think we're getting... there's a lot of energy with us needing to use our throats, needing to use our voices, speaking our truth. And of course, that is a very Aquarian energy right there. Yeah, throat chakra activations and clearings. Absolutely. I'm definitely feeling that. I think, I know there have been a lot of activations coming in the past couple days, really since we hit 120, but 121, 122, 123, right? We have these number codes coming up, the 12123, 12223, 12323. This is a big nexus of energy. And of course, it is the new moon in Aquarius today as we're recording this. And there is a video on that. If you guys want to check out that video, we have some really powerful alignments going on right now. This is a huge new moon. And we are in the process of shifting timelines, choosing timelines right now. So be aware of that. Be really aware of your thoughts, your words, your actions, caring for your vibration. It's very important right now, caring for the physical body, hydrating. As always, I have my water here. I hope all of you have your waters with you, getting rest if you need it. I know last week I was just exhausted all week long, really. It was like I could not get enough sleep. I don't know if anybody else was feeling that. So I know there were a lot of energies coming through last week too. A lot that was moving through us, a lot that was purging, a lot that was activating. Hello, Evelyn. Hello, CDX. Hello, King Shanes. Oh, yes. It was wonderful catching you live the other day on Instagram, King Shanes. You have such incredible energy. So thank you for being part of this tribe. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, unlocking the throat chakra. And when we talk about the energies of Aquarius, and we are going to talk, I guess we're talking about that right now. That is a big one. Speaking truth, standing up for truth, knowing and living our truth. And also seeing and understanding the truths in the world that other people don't always see and recognize. And that's why Aquarius has this humanitarian energy, because Aquarius thinks outside the box, right? It's a sign that's ruled by Uranus. And so they see things differently. They approach the world differently. They also see and recognize the problems of the world. And for Aquarius energy, the solutions seem pretty obvious, because of the way that they're able to think and conceptualize, right? Because of the way their perception, the expanded perception that they can operate from. Obviously, there's a higher and a lower octave of every single sign and every single sign's energy, right? So the lower octave would be getting too stuck in your own ideas and ideals, judgment. And I know that I've been working through that energy myself over the last few days, just noticing where it is that I tend to be judgmental, because we all can do it, right? So there are lower octaves of that energy, but Aquarius is really good at seeing and understanding the big picture and the picture beyond the picture. And so that is why we call them the revolutionaries, right? The mavericks. Some people call them the aliens of the zodiac, because there is that eccentric quality. So in Aquarius season, we're being called to think outside the box. We're being called to find bigger and better solutions for things. We're being called to embrace our individuality, to embrace our authenticity, and to really shine that in the world. Aquarius energy, first and foremost, must come to know, love, and appreciate and own the energy of the self. And once Aquarius becomes very firmly, like, they really understand and grasp who they are, they then can mingle their energy with the collective. It's really funny to me that Aquarius, when we look at the 11th house, which Aquarius rules, it's about networking, it's about collaboration, it's about organizations and institutions and people with like ideals that we align ourselves with, right? It's like our greater network where we're really expanding beyond our immediate circle into like the larger framework. This includes like acquaintances, it includes, of course, friends and business colleagues, all of these different things. It's how we expand our interactions with the world into a larger framework. But Aquarians, a lot of times, as I've observed, tend to be more of the lone wolf kind of an energy. And I think that happens when you are inherently so unique. And a lot of star seeds are going to resonate with Aquarius energy, regardless of how much we have in our charts, because that is, like we said, they're the aliens of the zodiac, right? And or so some people like to say. So it is that naturally difficult. It is the black sheep, the rainbow sheep, that sort of energy. So it makes sense why Aquarius can sometimes not be, they're not really people-y people. And this isn't a bad thing, right? And of course, these are generalizations. We're talking about the energy itself. Everybody's energy is different because our charts are influenced by a million different things. All of our different placements, the aspects, it all comes together. And that melds, of course, with our own unique life experience and the way that shifts and shapes us, right? Nature and nurture and all of that. So it's never going to be cut and dried, right? But a lot of times Aquarians they have that reputation for being a little bit aloof. They are an air sign, right? So not heavily emotional and can be a little bit detached. And I think that this is just, a natural thing that comes about from people who do see the world so differently and operate so differently in the world. It's very much the energy of marching to the beat of your own drummer. But Aquarius is beautiful energy. And although I don't have strong Aquarius in my chart, I resonate very strongly with Aquarius energy. And I feel like I had enough Aquarius energy that my soul didn't feel the need to incarnate with a whole lot of it in my chart in this lifetime, which is I find really amusing. All right, let's see. I'm going to check in with the comments here. Sore throat a few days ago. Yeah. Yep. Ones and twos like crazy. We are coming up. So we've been talking about the ones, the twos, the threes, the zeros. We've also been coming up on the 2-2 portal. That's going to be part of the energies of Aquarius season. Can't sleep more than 2 to 3 hours. Yeah. And it's going to be one way or the other, right? We're either going to be extremely tired, or some people experience just an influx of energy or restlessness, insomnia. I now am not ashamed to say that I have medication that I take to help me sleep, because especially with a new baby and everything, I have to get that sleep when I can. So I put myself out because I've just naturally had that insomnia kind of energy. I've dealt with that my whole life. It's a very busy mind. I'm not going to say I'm being more and more selective about the words that I use and the way that they use it. So I'm not going to call specific energies to me. But I can't type. I don't know a whole lot about that, King Shanes, but I know that you do. So definitely, if you want to share in the chat a little more about the energy of that, that would be absolutely beautiful. So let's get into this, you guys. Let's get into some of these energies. We talked about some of these themes, the themes of individuality, the theme of independence, the theme of humanitarianism, right? What other themes do we have? Friends. We may find a lot of shifts or a lot coming through when it comes to the people that we associate with, when it comes to the causes and the groups that we align ourselves with. These are the connections. Aquarius season is a great time to be making connections, to be putting yourself out there, because you never know who you might meet, and you never know how those connections may benefit you in the long term. And I'm seeing, as I'm saying this, 7 people in the chat and 7 likes. So 7 energy as we're talking about networking and collaborating and really working to increase our social circle, to increase the people that we network with on a professional level in all of these different ways. Aquarius season is a really great time to do this because we can meet very beneficial. I'm feeling Aquarius energy as the energy of soul tribe. And so calling in that soul tribe, and that's something this new moon would be great for as well, manifesting and calling in the soul tribe. And I have a whole video on the new moon in Aquarius. I think I already mentioned that. If I didn't, check it out. We're not going to get too deep into the energies of that because there is a video on that, and we got a lot of stuff to cover today. However, we have Uranus stationed, turning direct right now during this new moon in Aquarius. We have Mercury direct now. We have Mars direct now. We got a lot of powerful energy. We have the sun and the moon conjunct Pluto. So this is huge today. And so there's so much coming through over this and the next few days, like we said. And that's why we want to take really good care of ourselves. Be expecting those downloads. We talked about spontaneous soul retrievals, really just aspects of our unconscious coming to light, integrating with the self. It's a powerful, powerful day, and use that energy to shift timelines. Envision yourself on the timeline you're currently on. Envision the timeline you want to be on, and then imagine those merging and blending together. That's a really short, sweet, and simple timeline meditation that I really enjoy doing. Excuse me. And continue to affirm I am on my highest and best timeline. Hello, Ty. Welcome. Yes, I know. In the magic, there is a lot of magic today. There's a lot of magic every day, right? But when we have these high energy days, there's more potential. All right. I was going to say, oh, CJD, I knew there was somebody I hadn't said hello to yet. Been seeing 4s like crazy. Interesting. Yeah. That structure, that stability. That's a beautiful energy to be seeing. Creation, manifestation in the physical plane. All right. So Aquarius season is well, it started yesterday on the 20th, and it's going to go until February 18th. The evening of the 18th of February, the sun will move into the sign of Pisces, and Pisces season is going to be wild too, you guys. So we have Saturn entering Pisces during Pisces season. We have the new moon or the full moon, new moon. We have the new moon in Pisces happening the day after, or the evening after the sun transitions into Pisces. So that is very powerful. Just like we have this new moon in Aquarius the evening after the sun moves into the sign of Aquarius. So really kicking off each season with the new moon of that sign. And of course, later this month on the 5th, we're going to have the full moon in Leo. There's going to be, all right, let's just start going through this because we have another powerful energetic gateway opening up around the 2-2 portal that I want to talk about. So, yes, we have the new moon today. Then on the 22nd, tomorrow from when I'm filming this, we have the Chinese New Year, and it's the year of the rabbit. So we have that beautiful, refreshing there's, like we said, 2023 in general is all about the new beginnings. So there's a huge influx. It's like influx after influx of this new positive energy. And of course, we may not always perceive it as positive, especially if it's asking us to move when we don't want to move. But it absolutely is. And now I'm seeing 9 up top. 9 people in the chat, 9 likes. And if you haven't hit that like button yet, go right ahead. But I think this is significant, the 9 energy, because when we're talking about the positive influx of energy, and we're talking about how it might not feel positive, if you're not wanting to move, 9 is the energy that indicates the ending of cycles. And now we have 10 people in here, which also in the tarot, the 10 is the closing energy. And now 11. So we're just going up from here. But you guys see what I'm saying? There are things that are wanting to end so that we can make way for all these new beginnings. With this, especially right now with this new moon in Aquarius, with Uranus station direct, who is the ruler of Aquarius, just pumping that energy out there. Change is assured. Change is happening whether we like it or not. So the best thing that we can do for ourselves is just buckle up and enjoy the ride. Hello, ABC. Hello, Sumya. Welcome, welcome. Fire circle this week, having your first fire tonight. Oh, that's amazing. I wish we lived closer, Ty, because I would love to join. One of these days, we'll have to do that. We'll have to do like an in-person moon ritual. That would be so much fun. So yes, we have that new influx of energy on the 22nd with the Chinese New Year, the year of the rabbit. And I don't know a ton about the Chinese New Year. I know my sign, I'm a tiger. Last year was the year of the tiger. I believe it was the water tiger. I think I'm a wood tiger, if I remember correctly. I'm not sure. If somebody knows what the element for the rabbit this year is, let me know. In true tiger fashion, I only really know about my sign. I don't know about the rest of them in the Chinese zodiac, but I do know that the rabbit represents ingenuity. And when I think about rabbits, I think about springtime, right? I think about procreation, you know. I think we all have those. What's coming to mind right now is like, what was it, Bambi? In the springtime when mating season began and they had that word Twitter pated, like that kind of an energy, right? So there's a freshness, there's a birthing, there's a creation energy that I feel with the busy rabbits, exactly, that I feel with the rabbit energy. I don't know if that's actually aligned with what the rabbit energy is in the Chinese zodiac, but I'm definitely feeling that energy. Water rabbit, that sounds right, CJD. I think it is the water rabbit. And wait, didn't we just have the water tiger? So that's interesting. I wonder if we go through all the elements with all of the animals and then it starts with a new element. I'm not really sure how that works, but that is fascinating. So anyone born this year will be a rabbit, and we're guessing a water rabbit. Although if anybody else wants to correct us, go right ahead. You know, I I never claim to know everything. I don't even claim to be right 100% of the time. We do the best we can. We give out, we share information, what resonates, what doesn't. What's important, like the nuts and bolts that, you know, on this exact day, this is happening. What's most important is the overall energy and what we're going to be experiencing. And we're really good at tapping into that. But I did do my best to write down all the exact dates for you guys of the things that are happening during this Aquarius season. Water rabbit. All right, Cookies Mama. That is the final confirmation right there. That's what we're going with. Water rabbit. Let's see. Speaking of water, on the 26th, we have Venus entering the sign of Pisces. So that's going to be the next energy after we move through. And like I said, the 23rd as well. These are powerful portal days. So once we get out of the 23rd, our next high energy day is going to be the 26th when we have Venus entering the sign of Pisces. So already bringing in some of that Piscean flavor. And we do have on the 15th, Venus conjunct Neptune in the sign of Pisces. On the 14th, they're going to be within conjunction range. So right in time for Valentine's Day. And we'll get to that a little bit later. But we do have that Pisces energy kind of coming in as we're moving through Aquarius season here. Then we have the 2-2 portal occurring on, of course, 2-2, on and around 2-2. And we don't always talk about it extensively, but we have the portal itself, right, on that day, 2-2-3-3, whatever, 8-8. But then we also have resonant days. So as we move through February, when we get to 220 through 220, and this year it's like 223, right? Because we have the energy, the activations with the threes. 220 through 223 is going to be a revisiting of the energies of the 2-2 portal. So another gateway for those 2-2 portal energies. And of course, that second aspect of the 2-2 portal is going to be occurring during Pisces season. But we have the original influx and opening of this energy, and there will be a separate video for the 2-2 portal energies. But some of the themes that we're working here, we're working with duality, we're working with the balance of the masculine and the feminine, the light and the dark. We're working with the energy of harmony and relationship. And it's really interesting that we have this relationship energy that we're working with the 2-2, because we're going to have some really dicey relationship days coming up surrounding the 2-2 portal energies. So I want to prepare people for this, not to expect the worst, but just to know that there may be some tension. As we move through the 2-2 portal, we're going to have Ceres going retrograde in the sign of Libra on the 3rd, as well as the sun in Aquarius squaring Uranus and Taurus. So this is going to be a super fixed, super stubborn energy that we're going to be navigating on that day. And of course, we always find the best in every alignment, but it definitely, there's definitely a push-pull energy there. That aspect feels similar to when we had the Saturn-Uranus squares, just because of the fixed energy of Aquarius and Taurus, and the Uranian feeling energy of Aquarius versus the that steadfast energy of Taurus, right? Which sometimes likes to be in the comfort zone. So that's feeling reminiscent of that sort of an energy. And then on the 4th, we have Venus and Pisces square Mars and Gemini. So the feminine versus square the masculine, not versus, never versus. The Venus square Mars, just a lot of high tension there. So we want to be gentle as we're moving through and navigating, particularly our interpersonal relationships. And then on the 5th, we have the full moon in Leo. So it's going to be an action-packed portal day. We're probably going to be learning a lot about ourselves, a lot about our relationships, a lot about the people and the energies that we align ourselves with, a lot about our light as well as our dark side, right? A lot of that energy, finding out how to balance these things, how to balance out. It feels like all of the energies, the experiences of being human, right? And the understanding and the appreciation that we didn't just come here for the good stuff. We came here for everything else in between. Right? We came here for when it feels good. We came here for when it feels bad, because every situation, every challenge is an opportunity. And that's for a lot of times where our greatest growth happens. It doesn't have to be, but it usually is, right? This is why when we're talking about astrology, oppositions and squares are the energies that produce the most movement. Right? Sextiles and trines are pleasant, but they can keep us in our comfort zone. It's the tension that pushes us outside of that comfort zone. So really appreciating that aspect, appreciating all the, right, exactly, Ty. That's the word that was coming to mind. The full spectrum of this human experience. Exactly. At 2-2, the asteroid will be the closest to Earth. Which asteroid is this, ABC? Yeah, and that full moon in Leo going to be, that's going to be dynamic, as full moons in Leo always are. And just another beautiful energy that is pushing us outside of our comfort zone, pushing us into the spotlight. Big heart opening energy. Leo energy is always, it's all heart. So really exuding and expanding when it comes to that full moon. But any of these tensions that have been building up, anything that's been brought to the surface within these 2-2 portal energies is going to be amplified by that full moon. So whatever realizations, whatever is pushing us outside of our comfort zone, whatever is teaching us, you know what this is reminding me of too? It's reminding me of the white dog energetic signature. When we looked at the solar tribes, we used to do the galactic calendar and the different wave spells and stuff like that. And everybody has their own galactic signature. There is the white dog. So it's made up of a tribe. There's 20 tribes. And then we have the 13 tones of creation. And so the white dog tribe, which is all about love, relationships, loyalty, heart, connection, right? But it speaks of the energy of how our relationships are our greatest teachers. They teach us so much about ourselves. And through the pain, we learn and grow as well, and to value those relationships too. So I think we're going to be learning. We're going to be exemplifying. Our hearts are going to be expanding through this 2-2 portal energy. With this keeping in mind, and I wouldn't be surprised if the white dog galactic signature comes up during the 2-2 portal energies. I actually haven't, I've been slacking really bad. I have not ordered my new galactic calendar because there was just too much going on to be doing the wave spells, which occur every 3 weeks. It was 3 weeks, right? You see how out of touch I am now, but I wouldn't be surprised. And I know if you guys are interested in getting the wave spells back, let me know. I know that I did a poll just to see where you guys were at as far as what kind of videos you were wanting me to put out more of, as I do begin realigning my life so that I am able to commit and focus more of my time with you guys and with creating videos and such. And I forgot to mention the wave spells. So if any of you guys would like to see those come back, let me know in the description box, or in the chat or in the comments if you're seeing this video later. And if anyone hasn't hit that like button yet, please go ahead and do so. Hello, Thorn Rosa, welcome. So yeah, it's all about what we're learning through our triumphs, through our struggles, the challenges in relationships, and how we are able to rise to meet people, meet people where they're at, release and let go of the people who cannot rise to the level and the vibration that we need them at in order to have them in our reality, right? Because we can love somebody for where they're at without bringing them into our reality, right? We can keep our distance if we need to, while at the same time holding them within our heart space and, honoring where they're at. So we don't ever try to force anybody to be anywhere other than where they are. However, who's coming along with us in our journey is determined and has to be determined to some extent by like where they're vibrating at and where their energy is at and how that's resonating with our own. So I think that we're all going to have kind of some interesting choices to make around that stuff, some stuff brought to our attention. And this is, of course, never saying like, if you have a friend in need, just abandon them. Absolutely not. Of course not. But it's looking at like consistently over time. Like, is this person somebody who is on the same wavelength of energy? They may be struggling more at this time, but are they on the same wavelength of energy as I am? Or are they not? And we're going to be just seeing. And for some people, it's just as simple as who we vibe with and who we don't, and how that is beginning to shift and change as we continue to shift and change. Hello, Merlot Mia. How is it looking for a career change? Oh, wow. These energies, 2023 is all about expansion, right? It's all about the new. So I would say any career changes and expansions right now are positive. Yeah. And with the heart there, it seems to me like you're excited. So I can say just in general, if you're excited about it, it's never the wrong thing, right? Because that excitement, that is what creates the momentum of energy, right? If you feel really good about it, then you already know the answer to that question. But yeah, it's a great time for that. Excuse me. All of 2023 characterized, if there are one overriding energy for 2023, it would be Aries energy, right? So Aries energy is big, it's bold, it's go hard or go home. It is courage. It is taking that step into the unknown. It is the energy of the Fool. A lot of people use the Emperor as Aries energy. I relate that more to Capricorn energy. To me, the energy of Aries is the energy of the Fool, right? Taking that leap of faith. So yeah, absolutely. Okay, moving on throughout February here. On the 10th, Mercury will be conjunct Pluto in Capricorn. And then on the 11th, Mercury will be entering Aquarius. Hello, Solik, welcome. So this is a big energy right here. This is going to be a huge day mentally. A lot of intense mental energy. We want to keep that energy in check. We don't want to allow it to run away with us, because there is a powerful our mind energies are amplified when Mercury gets together with Uranus or Pluto. Neptune to some extent, but especially Uranus and Pluto, that energy is like radiated out triple into the universe. So we really want to be aware of our thoughts, but with Pluto there, things are being dredged up from the unconscious. So we can't necessarily expect that we're not going to go some dark places in our minds possibly, but don't stay there. Observe what's there and use it as fuel to continue to shift and transform your reality. All right, spend time where your mind wants to take you, enough to survey the land and understand the situation, and then kind of get the fuck out of there and do some affirmations, do some visualizations, exert consciously, triple the amount of energy into a positive direction, your desired direction, as you exude in whatever other underpinnings of the mind Pluto wants to take you. All right, if that makes any sense. That's the best way to work with that energy. There's a lot of power in that day. So that's on the 10th and the 11th, or the 10th rather. And then on the 11th, Mercury enters Aquarius. So our minds are going to be aligned with that Aquarian energy as well. So our consciousness in full Aquarian mode once we hit the 11th of February. Hello, beautiful Pippi. Hello, Solik. I think I said hello to you already, but hello again. Hello, Shara. Yeah, exactly. Today's the first day of the yellow star wave spell. Beautiful. And the yellow star energy is all about what we're creating. It's about beauty, right? Creating and seeing beauty in the world, art. If I'm not mistaken. Am I remembering correctly, Lindsay, as far as the energies of the yellow star? I think that's also an aspect that connects us to our star-seeded nature, which is always really beautiful, of course. We're always connected. That's what we are. But when we have these windows of energy, they take us deeper into that aspect of ourselves. And with all this Uranian energy coming through today, we're definitely connecting with that. What else here? We talked a little bit about Valentine's Day on the 14th. And Valentine's Day, like most holidays, is a bit of a commercialized, it is what it is, right? But we can utilize the highest vibration of that energy and simply be grateful for the beautiful relationships of all kinds that we have in our lives, not just the romantic ones, but all of them. And for those who do find that to be a romantic day and do, work with those energies, the Venus conjunct Neptune energy is going to be really pleasant for that. It does give us a tendency to kind of wear rose-colored glasses. So we want to be careful for that. It's takes idealism and that dreamy romantic quality and energy to an all-time high. So we want to be aware of that. And it is a highly creative day in energy as well. So it's a beautiful day to create. Be careful if you, for some reason, what's popping into my mind too is I was thinking of creation and it's a beautiful day to create children. So just be aware of that as well. What's interesting though is that the next day, the sun comes into an exact conjunction with Saturn. And so the sun and Saturn are going to be within range of each other during on the 14th, 15th. And then on the 16th, they'll be exact. So, Saturn really kind of coming in to bring a reality check. And this is going to be an interesting energy because we have that idealistic, dreamy energy of Venus conjunct Neptune. But then we also, very soulful energy, by the way. So very deep connection possible, soul-centered connections possible that day. But then that sun conjunct Saturn energy is really serious. And it's time to get down to business sort of energy. So it brings in kind of a reality check that will hopefully not conflict with the energies of Venus conjunct Neptune, but more facilitate us seeing things clearly and really understanding what we're committing to, what we're getting ourselves into, having a practical plan to move forward on any inspiration that does come through. And I'm being reminded that Neptune is often known as the great dissolver. And so on this day, when we have Venus conjunct Neptune on a more esoteric level, Neptune is really coming in to dissolve some of the barriers within the heart. So that's going to be a really profound energy as we move through the 14th, 15th, is that dissolving of the barriers. And it's reminding me of that quote by Rumi. I quote it fairly often. I don't always get the exact verbiage right. And this is where I miss Louise Garner. I haven't seen her on here in quite a while, but she used to, she always had the quotes to pop in the comments afterwards when I reference stuff like this. But it says something to the gist of, our task is not to seek for love, but to seek within ourselves all the barriers that we have built against it. And so that's the energy of this Venus, Neptune, and Pisces conjunction. It's like Neptune is just helping to melt away the barriers that we've placed within ourselves against love and bring us into a deeper state of love, of soul-centered love. Right? There is an energy here. Boundaries are not going to be easy to come by in this energy. Empaths could really be soaking in the energy of others. So we want to make sure that we are clearing our energy. I think Sun conjunct Saturn is going to help with that as well, right? Because Saturn is the planet of boundaries. So Saturn's really coming in to temper this energy and make sure that we don't run away with it, but also make sure that we're able to fully ground into our consciousness. Remember, the Sun represents our ego consciousness. All right. And Saturn is a grounding force. So grounding into our consciousness, grounding into our being, into the self, right? The Sun also represents the self. This and whatever it is that transpires, the activations, the heart activations around this Venus-Neptune conjunction. Saturn's really helping to imprint within our consciousness. So that is really, really beautiful. I am loving that energy for us around that time. But I did put, just as a disclaimer, like save any promises or serious commitments for the day after. So around the 16th, like Valentine's Day, 14th, 15th, don't make any promises. Wait until the 16th, where that stabilizing energy of Saturn is coming in even more strongly. Hello, Sophie, beautiful. Welcome. Oh, thank you. Hello, John. I am on point. Okay, we did those wave spells for so long, and the galactic calendars, the activation portals. So it's good to see that I have retained some of that. Violet flame does really work to cleanse the energy field. Absolutely, Sophie, working with that violet flame. Hello, Brooke. White dog wave spells, your right ear popped. Yeah, the white dog energy. Anyone looking into that, just Google it. Google white dog tribe, white dog wave spell, and see what comes up, because I think that energy is going to be extremely resonant. And I'll probably get into that more on the 2-2 portal video and maybe even read that for you guys. I haven't read. We used to have some beautiful readings that we did on those energies. When I said hi, you've been here for a little while, Brooke. Your name just popped up again. I just got excited. I love you. I love you all so much. Any blue galactic storms in the forecast? We just had a blue storm day last week, Ty, and I can somebody I forget who it was. One of the tribe members here messaged me and was telling me about it, and I was like, oh, that makes so much sense, because it was definitely a chaotic and stormy day. Anyway, getting back here. What else do we have? Yes, we already talked about the next energy of significance is that Sun shifting into Pisces the evening of the 18th, that new moon in Pisces on the 19th. And the funny thing about this, and we're going to obviously get into more of this in Pisces season when we dig deeper into those energies, but it's really funny to see that Saturn is going to be conjunct the Sun and the Moon for that new moon in Pisces as well, and then shifting into Pisces slightly deeper into Pisces season here. So Saturn just coming in and really making its influence known beginning around the 15th or so, and then straight through into that into the beginning of Pisces season there, like really wanting us to stay. It's like just giving us that reality check, being like, okay, this is great, this is beautiful, but like, what are we doing? Where are we going? All right, what, like, he's just really wanting to, it's like that parent that loves their child so dearly and wants to encourage them to flourish in the world, but also wants to give them the skills they need in order to do that. That's what Saturn is like. And that's what Saturn's really bringing through to assist us. And of course, the integration and the, there's a different word than integration that I want to use, but I can't think what it is. So we're going to go with integration right into the being, really firmly establishing and anchoring everything that we're experiencing, the powerful shifts that we're experiencing into the being, into the ego, the sense of self. You're a white dog, white resonant dog, Pippi. Oh, that's beautiful. That's a lovely, lovely energy. We all, for all those who don't know and joined after we stopped doing the wave spell videos, we used to do daily readings on each galactic signature. Like each day has a galactic signature. Like we said, 20 tribes and 13 tones. Every person, every day has a mix of a tribe and a tone. And the day you were born had a tribe and a tone, and that is your galactic signature. So go ahead and look up 13moon.com. I think I still have something linked in the description box about finding your galactic signature. It's really fun and interesting to be able to read about that and learn about that a little more. I'm a blue lunar storm. That is my galactic signature. And right now, are we still in the yellow electric seed energy, you guys? We're not, are we? We started a whole new galactic year right after I had the baby. And I don't think, did I do a video on that? Wow, I'm really somebody refresh my memory. I feel like I must have, because I know I pre-recorded videos for the beginning of my maternity leave. So we're out of the yellow electric seed now, aren't we? What are we into now? What is the galactic signature that we're working with this year? The galactic year goes from July 26th to July 25th. So on the 25th, we have the day out of time. And then on the 26th of July, our new galactic new year begins, right in the energies as we're beginning to kick off the energies leading towards the 8-8 portal. All right, you guys, we're going to stop talking. We're going to stop talking now. And well, not really, but we're going to get into the cards. Clear. So we're going to talk as we read some cards and pull some energy for this. I almost said for this new moon in Aquarius. So there probably is energy for the new moon Aquarius coming through, and just Aquarius season in general. Tell me, what guidance do we have? I am using the Star Seers Tarot for those who are interested. It drives me crazy. I try to be really good at least telling you what deck I'm using, because I watch readers sometimes. It's like my guilty pleasure. I don't always resonate highly with a lot of the readings that I watch, but I love watching different readings. It's fun for me. And a lot of times they don't tell you what deck they're using. And when they have a really cool deck, as we all know, I have a problem. We don't call it a problem though. We call it because it's beautiful. It's wonderful. But I really enjoy my Oracle and Tarot decks. So when I see somebody using a deck and I don't know what it is, it makes me crazy. And then it sends me down a whole Google spiral. And I usually can figure out what the deck is. But I like to say, to just make it easy for people, this is the Star Seers Tarot. We're checking into the energies for Aquarius season. Blue Storm was a doozy. Yeah, Blue Lunar Storm. So that is my galactic signature. And we had that. 2020 was the Blue Lunar Storm year. So when you have a year, and the year is dictated by the day that the new galactic year starts, the 26th of July, whatever day that is the tone for the next galactic year. So when your signature starts out the galactic year, it's going to be a big year for you. And I can tell you 2020 was a huge year for me. It was a really beautiful year, though. It was honestly one of the best years of my life. But it was intense. And it was Blue Storm energy catalyzes, it awakens, it activates, it shakes things up, and it teaches us to become the calm in the eye of the storm. And 2020 definitely did all of those things. All right, so we have the Seven of Pentacles coming out with the Six of Wands for Aquarius season. Right off the bat, this is gorgeous energy, you guys. What does this tell us right here? This tells us that what you put time and effort and energy into is going to yield really positive results. You're going to be recognized in Aquarius season for the work. I'm saying you, I'm going to say we, right? Because this is a collective reading. This is for our tribe, right? We are going to be recognized for the time, energy, and effort that we have put into things. For some people, and this energy has been coming up a lot, we will be in the spotlight in some way, shape, or form. This definitely can be some type of fame, recognition, people getting, I'm feeling like awards to achievements, whether this is certificates, degrees, you name it. Just people too, when it comes to our everyday lives, just really recognizing us for the effort that we've put into things, for the work that we do, for the ways that we are giving, the ways that we are of service, the ways that we positively impact their reality. And if we have been feeling underappreciated, Aquarius season, we're getting that energy of receiving appreciation. And this is the energy too, where the things that we have poured our souls into are really taking root, and we're beginning to see in our manifested reality the fruits of our labors. King of Swords on the bottom of the deck there. The Seven of Pentacles in this deck is different. It has a different energy than the traditional Seven of Pentacles. In the traditional deck, it looks like they're a little bit weary and they're kind of looking over. It's like, is the juice worth the squeeze kind of an energy? This is the energy of somebody very intent with strong focused intention, really creating and manifesting. And he does not feel conflicted at all about what he's doing. So this is like where you've poured your heart and your soul into. Red self-existing moon. That's it. Thank you. Thank you, Lindsay. We are in the red self-existing moon year. Now it's all coming back to me. Yes. So this is a year of deep and powerful emotional transformation, tapping into working with the divine feminine, working with the energy of water. This is why the moon cycles have been so powerful. And I'm feeling especially the new moons as we move through 2023. They're like huge, huge blasts of energy. We think of the full moon usually as the bigger energy, but the new moons, I'm really feeling they taking on a full moon quality. They really are larger than life this year. And if any of you guys are curious now that we've been talking about it, in my playlist, I have galactic cycles and wave spells or something similar to that. The red self-existing moon galactic year will be in there, as well as the videos for the yellow, what was it? I forget now. The last two, the Blue Lunar Storm and the one in between. It's all there. It's all there in the Galactic Wave Spells playlist. Then we have the moon coming out. All right, and this traditionally represents Pisces energy. So we have more of that Pisces energy coming in. Tell me more about the moon here. I'm feeling like with this moon card, I am feeling activations through the moon. Like confirmation that we are being activated during the moons. This is, of course, a picture of a full moon on this card. But just the activations from the moon itself. And Spirit is saying we can get more out of the activations of the moon if we are working with water, right? What did we just say? Red self-existing moon, working with the element of water. All right. That is linked to water. So really working with and harnessing the energies, especially during this galactic year until that ends on the 26th. There's a reason we started talking about that. There's always a reason. Working with water, if you can be submerged in water during a new or a full moon, that's going to be huge. I almost feel like, yeah, what Spirit's saying, and this can be used during this new moon in Aquarius. During a full moon, I feel like it's actually going to be especially powerful. New moon, full moon, anytime as we're moving through here. Anytime that you feel called, a ritual where it's like the Jewish baptism, or that maybe that's not what they call it. I don't want to be offensive to anyone. When people adopt the Jewish tradition and religion, they have that ceremony where they submerge themselves in water, and it's like the rebirthing. And Christians have a similar thing with baptism. So I think I just combined those two traditions into one there. But it's the energy of the water. It's cleansing, it's clearing, it's like a rebirthing. So throwing away all the religious dogma and energy there, Spirit is saying, if you are wanting to really do a ritual for the rebirth of the self, the cleansing, the clearing away of the old, starting a fresh slate, right? That full energy for the new to come in, find a body of water, natural water, preferably, but a pool can work if that's what you have to work with. And submerge yourself in it under the light or the darkness of the moon during one of these high moon times. And that's going to be really powerful. And something about the water and the reflection of the water, the energy, the absorption, right? Water absorbs, is going to amplify the light codes and the energies coming through as well. It's going to be a while before I can submerge myself in an outdoor body of water, living in the Northeast in America. But that's something this summer that I want to make a point to do. I'm feeling for me like around the 8/8 portal time. That might be a time for that. Sometime between the Syrian gateway, the 7/7 energies, and the 8/8 energies. But like we said, it's going to be different for everyone. This is also with the 5 of Wands here, coming out to clarify the moon. There's more messages here surrounding the moon energy. This is conflict for some people. Conflict. 5 of Wands can sometimes talk about competition. Feeling like you're falling behind is an energy that I'm picking up on here. This is like comparing yourself. And one of the things that I'm reminded of is comparing ourselves to other people and where they're at. Or, you know, that thing that we do in society where we say, by this age, you should have accomplished X, Y, and Z. It's like that sort of an energy. But for other people, it's not even so much about that as it is just the energy of feeling underwater. Like you can't get a leg up. And there may be conflict with people. Oh, thank you, Pippi. That's so sweet. Much love to you. Yeah, there may be conflict with people that's also like you feel like you're drowning in the energies of discord around you. But for more people, it's like even if there is an external battle or an external conflict, it's the inner conflict that's what we want to look at and what we want to understand. 2323 at the top of the screen now, 23 people, 23 likes. So once again, that's a key number for these number sequences we're dealing with this year. So this is an important message for somebody. It's that energy of like, don't look at the outer conflict, look at the self. It's the conflict within the self that is being showcased on the outside, but it's really about what's going on within. So it's like I'm feeling that Saturn energy again, that reality check energy saying, don't go without, go within. Don't look without, look within. What is going on within the self? What is happening within the self that is causing this conflict if it's manifesting on the outside? And for some people, it's all internal. It's all internal. And it has to do with judgments you have against yourself, has to do with resentments. It has to do with this energy of feeling like you can't get a leg up. Feeling this is very Pisces energy, very lower vibrational Pisces energy, or like young Pisces energy, I guess would be a different way to say that. I don't want to say there's an energy to, like, when we say lower vibrational, people have like a negative connotation to that. I don't mean it negatively. All right. It's just a different octave of the energy, right? This is that energy of powerlessness, that energy of victimhood, that energy of the whole world is working against me. Like, feeling like nobody, like we can't get a leg up, like nobody, I know I've said that multiple times. There's a reason that phrase keeps coming to mind. Like nobody, what we want is just out of reach. we're not getting the assistance that we feel that we need in order to get what it is that we believe that we need. And for, you know, for some probably really truly do need. But it's about the self-reliance. Remember, this is Aquarius season. It's about, which is, right, we are working with networks, with the people in our circle, right? We are utilizing all of our resources. And so Spirit wants to make sure, are you truly utilizing all your resources? But there's also this energy here of knowing the power of the self-empowerment. And this knowledge, look at this card, right? This is all, let's say this is all the same guy here. If you get up one less time or one more time than you fall down, you will still reach your goal, right? That's the only thing that matters. It does not matter how many times you fall. It matters how many times you get up. So this Aquarius season, Spirit is saying, get back up. You fell down, brush yourself off, get back up, keep going, keep moving, keep fighting. And I mean fighting in the positive sense of the word, right? Keep striving forward. Do not give up. Do not lie down. Do not call it quits. The show is not over yet. All right. The master has failed more times than the beginner has even tried. Don't count yourself out, but stay out of that energy of be wary of that energy of victimhood. Be wary of the energy of self-pity. It's not time for that. It's time to rise to the occasion, because you have within you everything that you need. You have resources that you haven't even realized yet. And if this is an energy where you have been comparing yourself to other people, comparing yourself even to like the vision of yourself that you had at the age that you're at, you know, like by 35, I thought that I would have done this, this, and this, right? Scrap that, throw that out the window. None of that matters. You're right here, right now. Everything has transpired perfectly, and it's going to continue to do so. Everything is perfect right now. What is it that Pete says for all of the chosen 144 tribe? What is the there's like a fancy amorafante or something like that. Essentially, like accepting everything exactly as it is. Everything is absolutely perfect. If I'm butchering that, please let me know, somebody in the comments if you're in the chat, or afterwards if you're watching this. I chose this, right? I chose this, and because I chose this, it is absolutely perfect. When the going gets tough, the tough get going. Exactly, Solik. Exactly. And some of us, we may be at a point where we're like, I'm tired of being tough, right? I'm tired of being strong. Well, Saturn is coming in and Spirit is saying, well, tough cookies. Like, you got to keep picking yourself up. Things do get easier, and then they get harder, and then they get easier, right? But you are going to make it. You are going to be okay. And if you aren't where you thought you would be by now, don't worry about that. Just keep striving, keep moving forward. Know that everything that you experienced, everything in your life led you up to this moment right here. And you would not be who you are in this moment if you had not experienced all of that. Nothing is a waste of time. All right, I'll correct that. Some things are a waste of time. If we are still learning and growing, it's not a waste of time. And the amount of pain that different people need in order to learn the lesson is like, that's different for everyone, right? Yeah, so I guess it's really not a waste of time, right? Because like if we're still in a situation that we need to move on from, if we're still in the pain, if we're still sitting in the pain of something and we haven't moved on yet, then obviously we haven't learned the lesson yet. So it's not time being wasted because we're still learning the lesson. Amor fati. I chose it and I love it. That's what it is. Thank you. I chose it and I love it. That's what we have to say. That's how we instantly take ourselves out of victimhood. We instantly empower ourselves when we say that. Amor Fati, I chose it and I love it. All right, we have the Hanged Man coming out now. And the Hanged Man was in reverse. I'm going to feel into that here. Which essentially makes the Hanged Man right side up, right? Tell me more. Give me more about the Hanged Man in reverse here. The Hanged Man right side up is doing something differently, right? So the Hanged Man in reverse would be doing the same thing. What is the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. That's what they tell us in 12-step. Then we have the Hierophant. All right, so we got some major arcana coming out here. Hierophant does represent oftentimes Taurus energy. I see Aquarius season as offering us an opportunity. Do we want to stay stuck? Do we want to stay underwater? Or do we want to pull ourselves out? Look at her. She's not under the water anymore. She is gliding over the water, right? She's running her fingertips in the water. And look at those light codes coming out. Right? Look at this starburst here, which reminds me a bit of the sun right now too. Right? From the moon, from the dark to the light, from the moon to the sun. From the unconscious to the conscious. Something is wanting to come up within the consciousness. There's a lesson, right? Hierophant can represent, to me, the Hierophant represents a spiritual lesson that's been learned. It represents up-leveling spiritually. It can also represent institutions, religions, right? Indoctrination to some, commitment, hierarchy, teachers. But to me, the main thing that it represents is up-leveling spiritually. So are we ready to do things differently? Are you ready for a different result? Justice. This is Saturn energy right here. Justice is typically associated with Libra energy, right? But I'm feeling the energy of Saturn once again coming through. Saturn really coaching us through these next couple months, I feel like. These are probably beyond, right? Because we're going to be feeling Saturn in Pisces, that energy. Saturn being a big player, I think, in 2023 in general. Pluto and Saturn, right? We have Pluto entering Aquarius on 1-2-3-2-3. And we have Saturn here. I didn't look up the date that it's entering Pisces. I know I didn't want to get too far ahead as far as the energies go. I kind of wish I did now. Because it would be interesting to see what the date lines up as. But feel that is a big energy as well. Saturn and Pisces are Saturn and Pluto, big players in 2023. Balancing the scales, balancing the self. You see how there's two selves here. This self looks really empowered, right? Sexy too, huh? And this self looks very pleased. Also very empowered. So there's an energy we're being asked to step up into our empowerment. She's embracing, she's holding the sword too, right? We're balancing the scales. She's holding the scales. There's karmic energy here. But she's also brandishing the sword. What does swords represent? Truth, clarity, focus. She's holding the truth in both hands. She's wielding the truth like a sword. And it's the truth. It's the acceptance of the truth that balances the scales, that creates the pleasant opportunities that she seeks. You know what I want to pull out? We got 3 of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. So there's teamwork, collaboration coming through again. There are helpful people who want to come into your reality if you so choose to let them. I'm going to use a deck that I don't use very often. We're going to use the Kipper fortune telling deck and pull a couple cards for Aquarius season. This deck I always wanted. This was one of those decks that somebody used and I had to Google and figure out what they were using because I really liked it. And then I got it and I think it gave me a couple personal readings that I wasn't really into. And I was like, I don't know about this. Clear. But please bring us guidance for Aquarius season. Show us the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Aquarius energy is very much about truth. Truth, integrity. There's a lesson here for some of us in standing in our integrity too. Being true to ourselves. When you are true to yourself, to your own heart, that's where we experience that heart-mind coherence, right? When the heart and the mind are in agreement. All right, tell us about Aquarius season. All right, we have message of concern coming out. And that's a number 14, right? We're talking about the 14th and the energies of the 14th. So that's interesting. So I feel like somebody may get a concerning message around Valentine's Day around the 14th. Exactly. Thorn Rosa and I were right on the same energy with that, eyes opened. Ooh, and the coffin. So this is a message of something ending. A message of something ending. So for some people, yeah, I hate to say, and this is why this deck is super intense. It's super truthful, but it's like blunt. So for some people, this is like somebody, it honestly feels like somebody getting broken up with. Maybe even through like a text message or an email or something, voicemail. For some people, this is loved ones departing. Unfortunately, there's this energy. This is some of the trials and tribulations that people are going through or going to be going through in Aquarius season. And if this could be something that you're dealing with that already happened, or it could be something that is going to happen. For some, not for all of us. All right, so some people, there's a concerning message, breaking up. And remember, those tumultuous energies around Valentine's Day, that makes sense for some people. And actually, I think Valentine's Day is what has one of the highest breakup rates out of the entire year. Interestingly enough, I'm pretty sure, I haven't fact checked that, but I'm pretty sure that I heard that. And I think I actually did look it up once and it was true. And with all the tense energies around then, through the 2-2 portal and those energies that we talked about leading up to Valentine's Day. And then that Venus Neptune energy, which can, with the Saturn, all the stuff that we talked about, I could see that for some people. It's also just as we prioritize. It's like some of us, we're releasing what's not meant for us, and for others of us, it's like it's just being taken. Right? If we've been clinging on to something that's not meant for us, it's just being removed. So that may be what this is too. You might think it is the person removing themselves, but it's actually spirit kind of like pushing them to do so, or pushing you to do so for some people. And yes, unfortunately for some, there may be a loved one that passes away or has passed away. For some people too, this could be health related. I'm feeling like I'm getting concerning news regarding your health. Let's get some more energy about this here. I feel like some of these messages wanted to come out though, because like I said, this is why I don't always use this deck. So some people, health may be a focus, or it may be more just like the, especially where we talked about the Mercury-Pluto conjunction. We also talked about right now during this new moon in Aquarius, we have the sun and the moon conjunct Pluto. All right, Pluto getting ready to enter Aquarius, so a shift in the Pluto cycles as Pluto and Capricorn cycle is coming to a close, right? So we're in like the very last throes of that energy before we move. So Pluto is going to be at 29 degrees, probably toward the end of February here, which is that anaretic degree, right? So this could also just be like confronting issues of our own mortality. So very Plutonic, very Scorpionic energy here, where perhaps someone close to you has concerning health news, or somebody close to you passes away, transitions, right? Because their energy is just shifting forms. So transition, I like that's a word that feels better, right? It feels more true. And it causes us to confront our own mortality. It causes us to look at our choices that we're making in our own lives. Is this beneficial for me in the long term? Right? Is this supporting my health and well-being? How am I taking care of my own self? And also just that understanding and that realization that our time here is fleeting. It seems long from a human perspective, but it passes in the blink of an eye, right? From a soul perspective. So it really, this energy can be used as a springboard to get us to really focus on what is it that I really want? What is really important to me? What are the non-negotiables when I'm on this planet? And what I mean by that is, what must I experience while I'm here? What have I not done yet that I need to do? Right? Checking things off that bucket list. It's that kind of an energy. It's really pushing people deeper into their soul purpose, or finding that, seeking that. And remember, when you begin to seek your purpose seeks you. All right. Whatever you seek is seeking you. That's like a law of the universe, essentially. Right. So, yeah, just pushing people deeper into their path. Some people, you may actually find your soul purpose after you lose somebody to this transition process. After somebody gets scary news, or you yourself get scary health news, it actually will inspire you to push yourself to greater heights, to make the most out of this experience while you're here. And this is why Scorpio energy is so intense, because Scorpio energy understands very much life and death, right? Mortality is not a stranger to Scorpio energy. Scorpio energy spends a lot of time. It's not even pondering this, but feels and understands this on a visceral level. And so Scorpio energy is like, I'm here right now. I'm getting the most out of this experience because it's not going to last forever. Understanding that every experience on this human realm has an expiration date causes Scorpio to want to it's like getting the most juice out of every squeeze when it comes to life, right? Living the life, investing fully, having the full experience. Once again, back to that full spectrum energy. Then we have high honor coming out here. And high honor is reminiscent to the Six of Wands energy from the beginning of the reading, right? Tell me more about this high honor energy. This also, as it relates to this, could be somebody who transitions, who you have incredibly high respect for, have an incredibly high amount of respect for as well. But I'm feeling this, so this is connected with toil and labor. So this is somebody who's put an honorable amount of effort into something. And does this not feel like this energy? And we know that we're getting ready to close the reading when the energies start coming full circle, right? So here we are again, back at this energy, putting a lot of time and effort into something and getting the recognition, getting the reward for that. And we have marriage on the bottom of the deck. So for somebody here, I know that we said some people might be getting broken up with in like in a not so great fashion here. It's reminding me of I don't know how many of you ever watched Sex and the City, but it's reminding me of the episode where Carrie gets broken up with on the Post-it. I can't. I'm sorry. Don't hate me. That, I mean, I'm feeling that for somebody, right? And for some of us, like, we may need to cut out like that. But I'm feeling this too, like for some people, if you've been putting in a lot of energy and effort into a relationship, you may finally get recognition in that relationship. Like, say you've been dating someone for a really long time and they just have not proposed, and you really, marriage is important too. It's something that you want. You want that that type of solidification of a union. Then you may be receiving that. You may be receiving that recognition for your efforts. Or for some people, it's not even necessarily marriage, but just like somebody that you've been seeing for a long time where it hasn't been official, and they finally like step up and commit, become more committed. That's how I'm going to do it, Cookie. Oh, I mean, sometimes I think it is nice when we have like an adult and an end to a relationship that honors the relationship itself. But sometimes, especially if it's like somebody that you've been seeing and they're just, the energy is just not there and they're not responsive and you know, that kind of thing, like I can see like we don't need to make a big to-do over this. Let's just end it clean and quick. You know what I mean? Or if it's like a toxic situation, or it's a kind of situation like, for instance, I don't talk too much about this kind of stuff, but you know, I myself did have a relationship with somebody who was abusive and controlling at one point. It's a weird energy because they've actually passed, and I did have a lot of love for this person too, and in some ways I think that they did love me. They just didn't understand how to fully express that because they had no model for that, you know. So everything came out really twisted. But in that relationship, it was very similar to like a narcissistic relationship. Like, I didn't know those terms at the time. It was very similar to that. And the only way that I was able to get out of that and stay out of that, because that was always, I got out many times, but I couldn't stay out, was breaking all contact. Right. And so for some people, like that's a healthy way to go sometimes. And sometimes it's just like ripping off the Band-Aid, right? Sometimes you just got to do it like that. So that is everyone's own personal decision. This energy to me felt more like somebody that you've been seeing where it's not any of those intense situations. It's just like they're just kind of flippant like that. And I don't know. But anyway, getting back to this energy here. Yeah, somebody may but finally be getting, it's like your struggles finally paying off or being recognized and rewarded for the time and the energy that you've put in. Then we have imprisonment coming out. Tell me more about imprisonment. Why is this coming out here? We have the mature woman. And concern again. Interesting. Let's get a little tarot on this. This is interesting energy here. Clear. I think this is actually playing into a little bit. There may be people who are in toxic relationships right now or toxic situations. And you may be getting there may be somebody in your life. This could be like a mother figure, or somebody else, somebody older, somebody who has some wisdom, who is expressing concern for you about a situation that you're in. And this could be, or vice versa, you could be the person expressing concern to somebody else about a situation that they're in. And this is a situation, whether this has to do with addiction, somebody who's suffering from addictions, whether they're addicted to a relationship, a person, whether they're addicted to a substance, even for some people, work, right? With these health concern energies. People who are addicted to work, literally working themselves into the ground. It could be any number of things, but there are going to be people, for some of us, or we are going to be the person who feels the need to give this message of concern. To whomever it may concern. Dr. Ramani, amazing for anyone looking for information on narc or struggling from bipolar disorder. Borderline personality disorder. I think that's borderline. BPD is borderline personality disorder, right? Hello, Heart Rhythm Healing. Welcome, beautiful. To be able to go within, it's tough, yet healing, absolutely. So yeah, give me a little more information on this. We have the Three of Cups. Yeah, so for somebody here, the imprisonment card feels very much like the Devil card in the tarot. So it's people expressing concern. This is where some type of addiction, some type of overindulgence or excess is causing issues and problems. And this may be where the health energy came through too. And then we have the Lovers here with the Seven of Cups. So I feel like somebody is in a relationship here with somebody who is abusing substances, somebody who has an addiction. It could be a work addiction, like I said, work, sex, drugs, other relationships, right? Whatever the case may be, it's going to be, I'm not getting a specific read on this. I am feeling substances coming through kind of strong for some. But there's somebody very concerned about somebody here. And this feels like with the Lovers here, there's a likelihood that it's a romantic partner. Or somebody very close to you, close friend, romantic partner here. So either you're this person or this person, you are with this person. We have the Page of Wands coming out. It's like an immature kind of an energy here. Tell me more about the Page of Wands or just the spread in general. Seven of Swords. This feels like the Seven of Swords can mean many things, but right now it's feeling like more of that that sneaky kind of an energy. You know how anyone who's ever dealt with somebody dealing with addiction, there is that energy, right? Things are hidden. Things are not what they seem. There's lies. There's manipulation. It cannot be helped. It is the nature of the disease. And for this, with this Seven of Swords, I feel like, see how he's walking away with all these swords, but he's leaving two behind. I feel like this is the energy where somebody's walking away or tried to walk away, but they haven't walked away completely. They're still leaving pieces behind. All right. So this is the energy of like, this could be as simple as when we are in a relationship, especially a sexual union with somebody, we take on parts of their energy. And even after we've left physically, our energy can still be with them. Their energy can still be with us. There are still cords. So this may be the necessity of cutting those cords, those emotional cords, those removing that any sexual hooks or imprints there. It could be like literally keeping one foot in the door, like not being able to, it's like the energy of not being able to give up on somebody, not being able to completely remove yourself from a situation. Notice how he's still looking back. We have the Four of Swords here. This is what's needed. Retreat, healing. Yeah. And see the it looks like the priest with the child up here. And then this person's right here. I feel like it may be time to let somebody else help this person while you take a rest. King of Swords. Give me some more here. Air energy. Logic, blunt, decisive. There's the need and the desire to speak truth. To speak truth, to acknowledge truth. We got the Two of Cups coming out here too. So this is a partner here. This is a partner here. You or the partner, either way. So this could be air energy. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, right? Somebody who's very in their masculine, who is utilizing, it's like the mind energy very much. Very intelligent. Maybe too intelligent. You ever notice how some people are too smart for their own good almost? Like they say, ignorance is bliss for a reason. Smart people, we tend to be very conflicted because we see and understand more than the average person does. And that can sometimes be painful. Smart people also have this tendency to get into that energy of thinking they know everything, right? And we become unteachable. So it's that energy of resistance, of thinking that we know it all and having difficulty accepting something else, accepting another truth outside of our own. Stubborn, right? See that face? That's a very stubborn face the way I'm seeing it right now. And he's holding that sword like pushing away. Tell me anything else here. Holding on. Yeah. And I'm sorry because I know that there's not a lot coming out really telling you what to do here. This is more just like illustrating the situation. I mean, this card kind of did in a sense, right? Pulling back, allowing other people to help, taking the time and the healing that you need for yourself. Tell me any likely outcomes for this situation. Any likely outcomes or guidance for this situation here. Got the Chariot and the Seven of Pentacles. So this to me is making a choice, making a decision. Taking the time to really look, and this is what we were talking about. Remember when we started the tarot, I said this is the traditional Seven of Pentacles as opposed to this energy that came through at the beginning. You see the difference there? So in this, it's like really reviewing and looking over your options, your choices, and committing to a path forward. Anything else? So there is a choice and a decision that's going to be made here. Four of Wands. And it will ultimately lead to fulfillment, balance, stability. What that choice is, I mean, Spirit can only tell us so much. But with the Five of Swords here, this is surrender. That's what this card represents to me. A battle that is over, that is completed. This guy usually looks like the victor to me. But it's like we know when to cut our losses. We've learned what we can change and affect and what we can't. And we're surrendering the things we can't change. The Serenity Prayer from 12-Step is coming to mind right now. Let's see if I can remember it. It's been a long time. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Right here. Really learning and understanding and living the meaning of that prayer. Somebody's surrendering, somebody's letting go of the things that they can't control, that they can't change. And that is bringing in healing energy for them. Got the 4 cups here. Let's just read into that for a minute here. Oh, God, yeah. Oh, so much intensity here. The 8 of Wands with we got the 5 of Pentacles and the 5 of Cups. There's a lot of heaviness, a lot of sadness here. Right? But the thing that always strikes me about the 5 of Pentacles is they think that there's no hope, but the hope is right here. They're not even looking. They're not looking up. If they were to look up, they would see the church windows. The church is all lit up. There's hope inside. God's right there. But they can't hear him. They're stumbling around in the cold. All right. In the 5 of Cups, there are 3 cups overturned, but behind him, there are still 2 cups that are full. If he would just turn around, just look up, just turn around. It's this kind of an energy. It's like Spirit has been trying to communicate. Like with the 4 of Cups, right? Focusing on the cups here that are not bringing what we desire when what we want is being offered to us the whole time. It's once again, if he would just look up. Get the Hierophant. Powerful spiritual lesson here. We got the 9 of Cups on the bottom of the deck. This is wish fulfillment. And we have the 6 of Swords. Moving on to calmer waters. Moving on. Yeah. There's that need. There's that desire. It's just surrender. Just surrender the situation. Stop trying to control it. Stop trying to control what you can't control. The only thing we have control over is our own words, our own thoughts, our own actions. All right. And ultimately, we can have this ultimate fulfillment. This is what we want. This is what someone wants here. Right? Complete emotional fulfillment, this happy family, this happy life, this happy home. Grounded, stable. And what's needed is introspection, right? An awakening, a healing, a balancing and awakening. But it can't happen in the current situation. Something has to shift. Something has to change. Somebody has to let go. All right. Whew. Yeah, so I guess Spirit wanted to deliver some intense messages for people, right? That's why we went with the fortune telling deck. I wonder, where was this made? Victorian England. All right. Yeah. It has, I guess that Victorian energy makes sense. I don't know. It's like some very stern, hardcore energy that's this deck carries. But sometimes that's what we need to hear. This is, the thing about this experience, and that's why we talked about the full spectrum of experience, the good, the bad, the in-between. We came here to experience it all. All right. As we are growing, as we are moving through this life experience, it's not all roses all the time. When we go in expecting that out of life, that's when we get disappointed. That's when resentments develop. All right. Life is about, it's teaching us. We're gaining wisdom. We're learning. We're growing, often through great adversity. And it's all beautiful. It's all perfect. So there's going to be a lot of growth and a lot of learning as we move through Aquarius season. Exactly. Yes, exactly. That is exactly what creates that, Jamie. All right, you guys. I love you. I appreciate you. Let's do one closing card here. What do we want to do? Yeah, here we go. We haven't done the Lemurian deck in a while. We're going to close with a Beyond Lemuria Oracle card because this has a nice Aquarian flavor to it. Clear. One closing card for Aquarius season. Messages from Lemuria and beyond. Closing card for Aquarius season. All right, we got two. We got luminescence and high heart chakra. And this right here, the high heart chakra, that's that energy of that conjunction of Neptune and Venus. 14th, 15th. Yeah, right? Aquarius is all about perspective shifts. There are some powerful... Oh, and what do we have on the bottom of the deck here? Was this not the name of... Was it the Aquarius new moon reading? Beyond the Mind? Was that... I swear to God, I'm going to look right now. Was that what we called... Was that the name of that? I know it was the name of something that we just did recently. I want to say... Yeah, new moon in Aquarius. The video was titled Beyond the Mind, so we're going to have to read that to close. All right. But we have this finding your bliss, tapping into your bliss, allowing everything that detracts from your bliss to be dissolved if it's meant to. Stepping into loving from that high heart chakra. The high heart chakra is what connects us to all, right? Divine love, selflessness, spiritual compassion, oneness through heart-centered bliss, healing, gratitude, giving love, dharma, patience, and joy. This card taps into the blissful oneness we feel as we drop away our edges and protective containers. This is the one place where we feel held and seen enough to flow into oneness, where the eternal part of me meets the eternal part of you. This is a selfless state where our higher selves commune for illuminated perspective on how we share, gift, and lift others in our joyful overflow. And to restore this high heart chakra, consider your life purpose by exploring what allows you to give in joy. And themes are finding ways to bring joy to yourself and others. This is related to the thymus gland, behind your sternum, a little above the heart, right? And the color is iridescent pink. So working with that high heart chakra, expecting those activations of the heart and the high heart chakra during that 14th, that window, 14th, 15th, 16th probably, right? 13th even, right around there, right? Time is fluid. These energies are fluid. We feel them as the planets are coming together and as they are drifting apart. Then we have luminescence. This is why it's so important to know and understand the self of February. Yes. Because this experience of melting into oneness, of blending, of merging with others is beautiful. But if we have shaky boundaries, if we don't know the self, that's when we get lost. All right. And in this experience, it is important to have an understanding, a container of self. All right. Or else we'll just be pushed around. Essentially, we'll just be flapping in the breeze. Because everybody else on this earth, right? Other people, I won't say everybody else, but other people on this planet, they have agendas, they have motives, they have dreams, they have goals, they have ambitions, they have purpose. So if you're not working towards your own purpose, you're working towards somebody else's. All right. And if you If you dissolve, if you merge yourself completely with another and you have no sense, you have no container of self, then you simply become them, right? Their energy overtakes yours. So this high heart energy is teaching us the art of experiencing oneness while not losing the self in the other. Becoming more when we merge and unite with another, as opposed to becoming more together, more of what you are, as opposed to simply just more of what they are. Hello, Joni. All right, Luminescence. This card is all about self-love. Heart-centered living, removing your heart armor. Accepting your shadows as the flip side of your strengths, right? Which is all part of that self-love work. Shadow work is self-love work. Vulnerability and authentic heartfelt needs. All right. So yeah, these two cards right here, Venus-Neptune conjunction in a nutshell. Opening us up to higher octaves of love. To higher, and of course, to experience those higher octaves of love, we must have and experience love of the self. All right, that always comes first. So this is like a huge spontaneous awakening and activation of the heart. Embracing the totality of self, right? That's when we talk about being the authentic self, embracing the authentic self. This is energy of Aquarius, right? If we don't love the self, we cannot embrace the self. If we don't know the self, how can we embrace what we don't know? How can we embrace what we don't love? What we don't understand? And so it's really tapping into that energy, tapping into the energy of self. Oh, thank you, Bernadette. Seeing, and this taps right into, and this is I was thinking about the energy of shame earlier, and I was getting ready to do like a quick short for TikTok on the energy of shame, because it's so important for us to be healing our shame right now, guilt and shame. Shame and resentment are two of the stickiest energies, two of the heaviest energies, and they really are toxic to our field. And what I mean by that is they poison our energy. All right. And the understanding of the difference between guilt and shame. Guilt is I did something bad. Shame is I am something bad. Right? It's when we take guilt and we internalize it to the point that we turn it around on the self and it becomes who we are. Yeah. Shame is the lowest vibration. Exactly. Resentment's right up there with it, but shame, it is literally killing us. All right. When we talk about the energy of health, when we live in an energy of shame, our health everything will suffer. All right. So it's really understanding. And it's as simple as the self-love concept, right? Just choosing to love ourselves, choosing to not be ashamed anymore. And yes, it's easy. It doesn't feel this simple. All right. But this is radical. This is where radical self-love and acceptance comes in. It doesn't matter what I did. I am lovable. I am perfect. I am worthy. Doesn't matter what I didn't. Doesn't matter what was done to me, right? Because the experiences that we have when we are traumatized, when people harm us in certain ways, oftentimes we will internalize that energy and we will take it on and we will blame ourselves, right? There's that energy. That's an energy of shame too. Something bad happened to me, so I must be bad. All right, all of that energy, it is so toxic to our vibration and it's so untrue. We are all so incredibly lovable, so incredibly worthy simply because we are. All right, that's it. So it's like learning to unravel that, learning to heal that, making that conscious decision here and now that we refuse to live in shame. Nothing about me is shameful. Nothing that I've done, nothing that's been done to me, nothing that I've experienced makes me unlovable, makes me unworthy, makes me bad, right? That's the energy of it. When we have shame, we feel like we are bad. And we're not. We are perfect children of God. God, source, creator, whatever you want to call all that is, right? We are beautiful. All right, we all came into this planet so innocent. I look at my son, I see true innocence. I never saw and witnessed true innocence until I met my son. All right, a baby is true, pure innocence. And there are things, and yes, our soul chose them on some level, but we, as we are now, didn't consciously choose them. We don't know, right? There are things that we experience that are beyond our control, right? Things that taint and harm that innocence. But we can reclaim that at any moment. We can call that back. We can just say enough is enough. I refuse to be shameful anymore. I refuse to think of myself as bad. I refuse to think of myself as wrong. I refuse to take what another human being did and let it determine and dictate who I see myself to be, which is who I am, right? Who and what I see myself to be is what I am, because we create our reality. We manifest that. So I am choosing in this moment to love myself. I'm choosing in this moment to accept, and yes, exactly, to forgive myself. To forgive myself for not knowing better. To forgive my soul for choosing to put me through some of the pain that I've experienced. That seems now that I'm here to be too much for one person to bear. Right? I forgive myself for allowing myself to feel shame. I just that forgiveness, I love and accept myself. I forgive myself. I'm releasing that, letting that go. All right. You are beautiful. You are perfect. You are worthy. I said it. I've said it multiple times, and I'm saying it again because it is so incredibly true. And it is so important for us to know that. And that's part of a huge part of healing that inner child, is releasing and healing that shame. So I'm feeling that energy for some. Like there's an opportunity to release some of that. You know, we were talking about this energy of addiction coming up here too, right? The number one thing, I mean, there's a few things, all right? And I'm speaking on this as somebody who was an active drug addict for many, many years, addicted to pretty much anything, right? Anything and everything. You name an addiction, I had it. All right. And I still have some that I'm working on, right? That energy still manifests because it's addiction itself is one energy, one consciousness. It manifests in many forms. I still have manifestations of that, right? But speaking as somebody who has experienced that, thank you so much, Lindsay. You're so sweet. Shame is one of the top things that keeps addicts using and prevents addicts from getting clean and staying clean. All right. Shame, it's we just have to let it go. We have to release it. You know, in this moment, just say and make that commitment to yourself. It doesn't matter what I've done. I love myself anyway. And when we're able to do that, then we're magically able to do that for other people as well, right? And how healing is that? When we can forgive each other, when we can truly forgive others. Because we know that there's what they did, the actions that they took, the experience that they've had, that's not who they are. That's part of this temporary human experience. It's part of how they're learning and growing right now. It's not who they are any more than it's who we are. All right? And we're going to make more mistakes. We're going to do more things that we aren't proud of because we're still learning and growing, and that's okay. That doesn't make me bad. That makes me human. That makes me a soul having a human experience and stumbling a little bit. Right? Because you think about when we are in this high consciousness, it's like we're looking where there's just everything's illuminated. We can see it all. Becoming human is like being thrown into a dark room after you've been staring into the brilliance of the sun. You can't see a damn thing. You got sunspots everywhere, right? But everything is black. And you're just stumbling around a room. At first, you don't even realize that there's a door because you don't have the concept of a door, right? And then maybe that concept is delivered to you. And then you're feeling around trying to figure out where the door is, right? It's just, it's a complete shit show when we get down here, you guys. It really is. And we signed up for some things. We signed some soul contracts to experience some things down here that were really unpleasant. All right. But we didn't do that because we're bad or because anybody else is bad. We did that because we thought that we were going to learn the most from that experience. And sometimes we wish we hadn't. I think a lot of us get down here and we're like, damn, why? Why did I decide that I was going to experience that? You know? And it's hard to find the meaning, and we don't have to sugarcoat it. We don't have to try to find the meaning. We can if we want. Our soul absorbed that lesson, even if we consciously aren't aware of it right now. We don't have to accept that there is a meaning, right? But we can still be empowered enough to say, I'm not going to let that define me. And there's a lot of work when we're talking about trauma and stuff like that. Of course, there's a lot more work that goes into healing from trauma than just that. All right, but that's where it starts, is making that decision. Yes, we are not from here, yet we do have family here. I love that, John. That's beautiful. Exactly. All right, so now I'm going to read to you Beyond the Mind to close here, because I think it's so perfect. And it goes so well with the new moon in Aquarius. I mean, that's the title of the video. So that kind of synchronicity we can't ignore. Beyond the Mind says, thinking with the heart, being present, heart and mind connection. Were we not just talking about that too? Meditation, the bliss of being, quieting the monkey mind, fathoming the unfathomable, finding happiness within, and going beyond intellectual limitation. The mind is a wonderful tool for mowing us. Yeah, it does say that. The mind is a wonderful tool for mowing us through the logical elements of life so we can function in the world. However, its endless chatter, self-doubt, limiting stories, and subconscious programs can also keep us in our suffering. One of the fundamental problems with mind chatter is that it takes us out of the present moment. As soon as we are in the past or future, we can no longer be our most empowered in the present. When we are stuck in the past or worrying about our future, we are not in command of our now. All we are doing is draining our energy and removing ourselves from the beauty of this incredible moment where anything is possible. That is not to say we shouldn't plan for the future or honor the past. This message is about bringing our awareness to the present. We are naturally wired to be everywhere but the present moment. Just as we would exercise to keep our body fit and healthy, it is useful to practice being here and now. Learning to find inner spaces of peace and silence, regardless of external circumstances, is one of the greatest gifts we can cultivate for ourselves. Much of Western culture and society pivots on a mind-based paradigm. This has served us in getting from A to B in a very linear way, but it is not holistic and the cracks are starting to show. We learned that logic is always the right approach. However, more and more people are feeling unfulfilled, unhappy, and anxious, even though we are living more comfortably and with fewer threats. What can we do about this? The answer is learning to just be, even just for 10 minutes of your day. There are many techniques that can help you quiet the mind. Find the ones that work for you, and as your internal world becomes more peaceful, conscious, empowered, and meaningful, so too will your external world. They are interconnected. True bliss is experienced completely and utterly in the present moment. In essence, it is the feeling we spend so much of our life seeking. Did we not have the bliss card come out, right? With the high heart chakra. In essence, it is the feeling we spend so much of our life seeking. Ironically, we have access to this feeling always without external stimulants or concepts. Allow everything to drop away so you're present. It can take some work, but presence and bliss are totally within your grasp. Commodity-driven society tells us we need to seek things outside of ourselves to feel safe and happy. This thinking keeps us out of the magic. The enlightened soul knows there is so much more. Take a step outside your mind-based concerns or limitations today. Looking at things in an overly logical way will hinder you and obstruct access to your superpowers. You may be transfixed by a past experience. The past may be running you and making your mind spin so you cannot see what is really in front of you. Consider what your heart and your gut are telling you. Step back and clear your mind. Meditate in your own way. Contemplate what the situation at hand would feel like if you released all fears and worries. Are these concerns even yours? And that's always an interesting thing to ask ourselves, right? Because especially as empaths, we take on a lot of fears and concerns that don't really belong to us anyway, right? A lot of these programs too, these subconscious programming, clear, causes us to take on things that don't belong to us. Awakened awareness on the bottom of the deck. We could keep going with this. We're not going to, though, because my voice is about to give out. Clear. And I need to go enjoy a little bit more of this downtime that I have for the next few hours before I go into work here. Happy new moon, Baymax. Welcome. Yeah. And there's a lot of theories, CJD. That's a whole different live stream of why we choose to come back here. Some people say it's because it's worth it. I know that some people say we're tricked, that this is actually a trap. Some people say that it is. I think I'm actually going to scrap what some people say and say part of what I feel. I have given some entertainment lately to the idea that maybe it is a trap. But I also think there's a lot of beauty here. Like there's a lot of powerful experiences. The experience of love on this planet is so different. Like love in higher spiritual realms just is. And there's no adversity. So it doesn't require any courage either, right? It just is. We just are love. We exist in love. It's almost like taken for granted because it's just there. Here, love is so profound because of all the trauma and the hardship that we go through, because of the heartbreak that we go through. How beautiful and amazing is it that we can still love even after our hearts have been so harmed, right? Even after we've been broken, we've been disappointed, we've been let down. In the face of all this cruelty, the fact that we can still find love is beautiful. That's miraculous. And it has so much more meaning down here because of the contrast. Just like the painful things are so much more intense, the beautiful things are that much more powerful and beautiful. All right. What we see, hear, feel, and experience cannot be duplicated in other realms or other planets, I don't think. And I think there is an inherent beauty to Earth that you can't quite find the way you find it here elsewhere. That's just my intuition on that. And the ways, just the ways that we're able to learn and grow here, clear, through the pain and the adversity, is powerful as well. So that would be my best answer for that. It's a magical mystery. That's a simpler way to put it. Told the sun and the moon are sewn differently from Earth, and especially our five senses. Yeah, the senses, the physical sensations, right? The things that we can do here that we can't do. Let's just simply, right? Like the joys, and this is why it's so easy to get in this devil energy, right? It's that energy of like food and sex and all these things that we can experience here that aren't experienced the same in other dimensions, right? Touch, taste, sound. Everything's different here. Everything's different here. This is the real acid trip being on Earth, I think. Things are trippy in whole different ways in other dimensions, but it's a real trip down here. It really is. And who of us doesn't enjoy a good trip from time to time, right? Right? We get to actually feel love here. We get to actually feel. I don't think emotion doesn't exist the way it does here, everywhere. Like I said, when we're just radiating and floating in a state of pure bliss, I would imagine that gets kind of boring after a while, right? Like who wants to watch a movie where everyone's just like happy the whole time? There's no challenges, right? Think about a novel, right? There's a heroine, there's a protagonist. There are things that have to happen to keep us engaged in the storyline, right? Just floating around in bliss all day long. There's no storyline there. There's nothing nothing to keep us entertained. And if we're not entertained, God's not entertained, right? God is all that is. Some people believe, and it resonates with me, that God's energy, source, creator, whatever you want to call that original energy of all that is, exploded itself out into a billion different expressions just to experience itself from different perspectives, right? Because source probably got bored, and so source doesn't want us to bore it. Source created us for entertainment, for enjoyment, for the incredible experience of realizing itself all over again. There's that beautiful aspect of it, right? Every time that we reconnect to our true nature as source, that wonder, source gets to experience the wonder of knowing itself all over again. But I think an even less profound way to put it is source just wants the entertainment. And so it created all of us, and it experienced all these different things through us. And this is one of the most, I think, the third dimension and planets like Earth, especially. I mean, this is some serious, this is where it's at as far as the action goes. So Earth is not for the faint of heart, but for those souls who like to explore and really like to grow and really like a challenge, this is the place to be, especially right now as we're moving through this ascension process, as we're creating something completely new, right? Yeah. Oh, yeah, telepathy. That's fun. That's going to be more fun as that gift continues to grow. Yes, exactly. See, you guys know. You guys got it. Yep, exactly. And we are going to start remembering more and more of our past lives, especially with this. I feel that energy coming in with this new moon. If you want to play around with past life energy, do it during this new moon. If I have time, I might actually do a little bit of that. I have a meditation that somebody recommended to me. Clear. To recall past life energy that I think I'm gonna try right now, see how that works out. All right, you guys, I love you. You're amazing. You're beautiful. Have a happy new moon. Have a beautiful Aquarius season. We're obviously going to be talking and connecting as we move through it. This isn't the last time we're going to be discussing these energies. We're going to go more deeply into some of them. But yeah, I hope you guys have a beautiful night. Enjoy this earthly experience. Enjoy the full spectrum of this experience, right? And thank you for being part of my earth experience. Go ahead and hit that like button if you have not yet. And yeah, if you know someone who would enjoy this, share it with them. You guys are incredible. Love and blessings to you as well, Evelyn. All right, I'll see you guys later. Oh, goodbye, Cookie. Goodbye, Thorn Rosa. Goodbye, Ty. Goodbye, Jamie. Goodbye, Lindsay. Goodbye, Solik. Goodbye, Baymax. Goodbye, 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 all of you. There's so many. Joni, Cookie's mama. I mean, we could just keep going and going. John, ABC. There's just Bernadette. You're all amazing. Eve, I don't know if you're still here. My love. You guys are all incredible. If I didn't say your name, you're also incredible too. Thank you so much. And thank you to the people as well. I try to respond when people send donations through PayPal or Cash App or Venmo. I try to respond to all of those. But I want to thank everyone who has sent through donations. I have received some donations. I've received some in the super chat. So thank you for those. They are appreciated. Of course, your time, your energy, your wisdom, your light is more than enough. But it's nice to see that appreciation when that comes through too. So thank you for that. And just know that that is every time that touches me deeply. If I don't, I know in some of those mediums like Cash App, all you can do is hit the little heart button. You can't say anything. But just know that that is all deeply appreciated. And if anybody else would like to donate, I have links in the description box below as well. So I just wanted to throw a shout out to everyone for that too. You guys are you're beautiful. Continue being those beautiful lights in the world until we meet again. Bye.